What is up, everybody? We are live. The Secret Show, episode 12.
Yay.
We got so many people here. We're going to be walking around. We're going to do some fun stuff. But before Nate Wolfe takes off, we got Nate Wolfe in the house doing your first Sukkot.
First Sukkot, and first day this week of being with other human beings doing Sukkot. So that's kind of cool. We've done our first several days of Sukkot, most of Sukkot on our back porch. And as we said, we're kind of dipping our toes in this year. This is all new. We're learning. There's a big learning curve, but we're trying to get the most important spiritual aspects right, and let all the other physical things fall into place as we learn.
Yeah. So what have you learned? You know, what is this? All about? And maybe if you want to drop even some of that stuff that Monzo dropped some bombs on.
Man, Monzo was dropping some bombzos, but I'm telling you, I mean, the big thing for us is just looking for the return of the Messiah and just trying to have a joy. And sometimes being joyous is a challenge because we have daily things that attack us and hit us. We've just really tried to focus on the prophetic nature of some of these feasts and appointed days, and just getting used to being on the Father's rhythm of things. And I tell you, it takes some time to get used to, but you actually look forward to those times of focus. And I thought what Monzo said about the 8th day and the significance of that, and it was just really powerful. I mean, he was really bringing it. So yeah, this was a really good fellowship for us to be part of. We drove 2 hours each way, but hey, no big deal. I like a good road trip, so happy to be here.
Yeah, awesome, man.
And I got a fresh cup of coffee.
So what's going on new with Nate Wolfe? What's going on? I mean, man, there's so much going on.
What's going on new with Nate Wolfe is it's not. We're expanding the Nate Wolfe thing, and now, which is amazing and awesome, is my wife is a part of what I'm doing. And Jennifer and I have been talking for probably 7 or 10 years about doing something together in ministry or teaching. We didn't know what. But, with my experience and my background, my education, social work, police work, ministry, her social work and counseling background, and we just decided, look, it was time for the two of us to share some things weekly on the, Fired for Truth. The platform's already there. And so we just decided to go ahead and do this series called Life Matters with Nate and Jen. And of course, Life Matters is a play on words there. Most people caught that. Hey, Emily. But we have started, and we are, this Tuesday we'll be uploading episode 3. Now, we had an intro, then episode 1, which was on communication in your marriage. Episode 2 from last week was on boundaries, married couples and having boundaries with others outside of your marriage. And this week we've been kind of looking at a couple of different things. We're definitely in the next few weeks, we're going to address spiritual warfare, spiritual attacks against your marriage. We just haven't decided if we're going to do that this week or next, but probably this week if we can get everything put together in time. Obviously with the feast and other things going on, this has been a really busy week, but we are super excited about the feedback and just the response that we've had. Now we kind of say, okay, now I think we know why we needed to start this. The Father is making that very clear. Yeah. And we really enjoyed being on Remnant Restoration with the Halls this last weekend, and sharing there and making some new connections. And so we're going to keep going with this, and we will talk about marriage, we'll talk about parenting, but not all of it is going to be for married people. Obviously, there'll be some parenting things for those who are single, and we're going to talk about other subjects down the road. So it's not just going to be a marriage thing or even a family thing. We'll cover a lot of different life subjects. Again, we don't claim to be the experts, but we do have experience, and so that's what we're hoping to do, is just to edify, challenge in a good way, encourage others in that.
Yeah, so. You were also just recently on Cutting Edge with John Hall. And man, that was awesome. I mean,
that was fun.
Just to see you guys hanging out, that was really super cool. And that came. I got to hang out with John just recently at the SRA conference, which was awesome. And
I missed that on the SRA conference. I did meet John Hall in person at Take on the World, but we didn't have a lot of time to interact. And so it was really cool when I went down, it was a month and a half ago or so, I went down to John and Stephanie Pounder's home in Indiana and did a couple, 2-day thing there with them, went on Pounders Live with John. That was really cool, and got a chance to meet John and Patricia in person for the first time there. So, and then Jennifer, she went to the SRA conference, so she got to meet a lot of the folks that I have met already, and that was a really cool experience for Jennifer to meet them in person. And I'm proud of my wife because she's usually kind of a little bit of an introvert, and so she said, well, she hunted people down and was like, hey, I'm Nate's wife, Jennifer, how you doing? And they were like, oh, yeah, Mrs. Fired for Truth,
It was awesome.
That was cool. I'm happy for Jennifer. I decided, look, I get plenty of conferences. This conference, the SRA conference, was, I think, a really good conference for her to be part of. She does training for the county, and she puts on trainings on various things and in the social work and social services field, and she has become rather educated in the trauma field, the understanding of trauma-informed care, and so the SRA situation fits right in with trauma. So who knows? I mean, maybe that'll be something that she can plug into, even with something like maybe Thomas Dunn and those folks are doing. You just never know.
Yeah, big shout out to Through the Black, man. Those guys are awesome. For the whole extended family.
Those guys are workers.
Tom Dunn, Jared Cressman, Jeremiah Dirt, Lexi Hall, Evangeline Dunn, everybody that's...
Colleen, Michelle in L.A., all those people.
Oh, yeah, awesome. I mean, they rocked the table when they were at this conference. And they do so much behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Jared, and he was, like, looking at his booth, and, like, I was talking about answering emails. He's like, I don't do any of that. They do all that. They do all that.
It's nice to have workhorses, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what you need. Your official Wolf pack needs to grow a little bit bigger. So.
Yeah. Well, you never know where this is going to lead and where it's going to go.
But you got some awesome mods that do help you out. So,
I do.
Yeah.
See, I would really went about this the right way. I went to some of the great channels that had awesome mods, and I kind of respectfully and quietly, messaged them, said, hey, I don't need a lot of mods, but I need some, committed people. I need some people of character, some people that have experience, because I didn't have a lot of experience in the YouTube land. And so there you got Bowman, Mark Keentz, and others that are, they mod for me as well. And some of them mod for 2, 3, 4 channels. And so that's a whole ministry right there. I mean, just being a consistent,
that dude's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere, man. So we love him, man.
Chance, good to see you, man.
Oh yeah,
down in Arkansas. so good mods make all the difference.
And so here, the next time me and you probably will, we don't, we're a couple hours apart, so we're not too far apart. We're only like
2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah. Not even. No, it's
an hour and 45.
No.
Really?
No, it only takes like maybe an hour and 30 minutes to get to.
Maybe give or take.
So
it depends on how much I'm.
Yeah, we don't. I guess we don't have like a great excuse. Yeah. But next time we'll probably see each other is FEIC 19.
Yes.
Where
that's coming up fast. In fact, I'm under the gun because the deadline for my PowerPoint.
And you speak right after we speak.
That's cool.
So I got to jump from my stage to your stage.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So.
Bring some Rotten Tomatoes.
So I'm going to definitely pull together. We got flat out insights in the house today, guys. So we're going to show you guys a lot of the people that are here. If I can get the chance to see Jen, we'll get to see them because you guys are heading back home.
Yep, we're heading back in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. So now, tomorrow for you guys will be the 8th day, right?
Yeah.
So that will be your celebration. As we learned today, going through scriptures, the 8th day is almost like a separate festival.
Yeah.
A separate feast day. So really kind of cool stuff.
It's a special day from what Monzo was sharing. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, for 7 days you shall dwell in booths. And then on the 8th day.
Yeah. 8th day is a holy convocation.
Yeah.
A Sabbath.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Super stuff. Yeah. So.
Good stuff.
So last words before we take you. We took 10 minutes of your of your son. He's still over there talking. So man, we'll snag you as much. Maybe we can go grab Michael.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you guys the facility.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I guess the last word.
This is an undisclosed location. I'm not going to give out the person's house, but they've got a pretty awesome house. They got a cool lake.
Yeah.
They got some amazing woods around here, so it's pretty awesome. We've been here for Sukkot before, where we've lined this thing up with tons and tons of tents and stuff. So you guys can see all that. So we're gonna go over. Nate, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, hold on. No, I'm sorry. I pulled you off of it.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Be in prayer for us. There could be some big things happening as far as support for ministry here in the next several days or weeks. So just be in prayer about that. We're just taking it one day at a time, going on faith. But it just feels like this could be a season of big things happening, which would be awesome.
Well, 8th day, it all starts over, man. New beginnings,
there
right?
You go.
Yeah. So here we go. We're gonna take it over. We're gonna meet some new people. So I'm gonna snag who else I can snag. This is the secret show. I gotta watch out for the dogs. Lots of dogs here. Yeah.
There's some secret piles on the show.
So let's go over and see if I can snag. I gotta plug in my phone for this secret show, because I'm gonna lose power pretty quickly. Hey Kyle, can I snag you for a video? Come on, we're live right now.
Live on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is our secret show. He doesn't even know.
Yeah,
hey guys,
I don't even know.
This is Kyle. He doesn't even watch Take on the World TV, but now he will have to, because he's on it. You do?
Sometimes.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, this is Kyle, and I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. Kyle found out about our conference, like a year ago? Because you happened to see Jeremiah Dirt was going to be performing at our conference, right?
Yes.
And man, he's been a fan of Dirt for
since 2001.
2000. So yeah, I mean, come on. When this guy, when he said he knew Dirt, I'm like, man, I knew it initially. Be great friends with this guy, man. But tell us your story. You've been, you have an interesting past, going from multiple faiths to where you're at now. And you've been doing this for a long time. A lot of people, like today we're doing Sukkot. You've been doing this for. You tell the story.
Okay, well, you make it more interesting, though. I think it is, but.
Hey, every testimony's got some power, so don't be afraid of that.
So the short story is: grew up in church, non-denominational. Around 16, got in with the Jehovah's Witness. I was probably there for probably 3 years. It's around when I was 3 or 4 years. I left when I was 20 because I was done with that. Did nothing for about a year. Went back to church around 2001. So I was in church for a very short time until I met somebody that started talking to me about all this Torah stuff. Found actually a local Messianic congregation, and I started going in 2001 just after Passover. So I've been doing this since 2001. It's definitely been like an adventure, and each year is totally new, but yeah. So I feel like almost right now, I almost feel like I'm doing everything brand new. I feel almost like new because I feel like I'm relearning everything.
Yeah, today's talk that was pretty interesting. I mean, you've been around since 2001. Did some of the things that you learned today, reading in scripture? I mean, obviously you got to jump in the Word and start studying yourself again on this.
Yeah, I'll make this disclaimer. We read straight from scripture today, and I actually saw stuff that I had never seen before. Setting aside tradition and just reading straight biblical what God said, that's the way to do it. So that's the path that I've been on, is just trying to set aside tradition and my preconceived bias of what I think, just see what God says. So I don't care how, I feel like no matter how long we've been in this walk together, with God, Christian, non-Christian, Torah, if you think you know it, pride comes before the fall. Like, my pride's gone. I feel like I know nothing. That's where I set it at. Like, God, I don't, you show me. But yeah, today was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you gave me, you came to our trumpets,
Oh, yeah.
And then he's been doing this since 2001, and then comes up to me afterwards and says, "Hey, that was the best trumpets, that I've ever gone to." I was like, dude, we just did that from the heart, but he's been doing it forever.
Yeah.
So it really meant a lot from you. Like everybody else could have said the same thing, but you're a veteran at this. So
I don't feel like a veteran. And actually, to add to my disclaimer, the problem that I had was going to a congregation, listening to the pastor, listening to the traditions and the Jewish traditions, and following that over Scripture. I feel like that was where my downfall was. Really, you still follow God, you still love Him, you're still trying to be obedient, but there's too much of the extra stuff. And I feel like what God's doing right now is just refining. And that would be my encouragement to everybody. Open up the Bible without preconceived anything and just read it and allow God's Spirit. I feel like that's what happened at Yom Teruah. It was peaceful, it was awesome, it was amazing. Today was just a great group, great fellowship. And from any of these comments that I see, yes, Jeremiah Dirt is awesome.
So what's your favorite album by Dirt?
My favorite album is A War to Restore. So anybody, A War to Restore, Blunted Edge, Shanghai Burning, Holy Burn, if anybody knows.
Yep.
And for Dirt, what's up, man?
What's up, man? It's like this. Like, no, we got to do that thing because Dirt's missing a digit. So, yeah. So that's our love to Dirt, man.
Yeah.
And you come to our meetups too, man. So
absolutely, yeah. It's only been about a year since I've been doing that.
So when did you come to that knowledge?
Well, about a year ago. It's only been a little over a year. And I tell you, God is amazing. You think like that? He just totally, man, just ripped the rug out from under me. Heavy manners.
Heavy manners.
Still good. But War Restore is got a place in my heart. But the Flat Earth, man. And actually, just over a year ago, started watching some Rob Skiba videos, which led to there's tons of stuff out with Robbie Davidson and Celebrate Truth and Mark Sargent.
He did say Rebel Lion too. Rebel Lion's dope.
Oh yeah,
super dope. Yeah.
Hard Times.
But I mean, come on, Rebel Lion. I mean, that's a hip hop reggae.
Hard Times. Yeah. The Hard Times. Yeah. That song is way too short too. I listen to that on repeat because it ends too quick.
Yeah. So I do love the Solomon Kane stuff. So if you guys go get a physical copy through theblack.com, you can get physical copy. Support Dirt Through the Black. Right there on Through the Black, get a physical copy, or if you would prefer a digital, just go to iTunes and just pick it up. Because either way, it supports Dirt, and Dirt wants all those CDs to be sold and wants Tom to get all of his money back. So that's a way to support everybody in one shot. So, dude, Kyle, thank you so much for jumping on the Secret Show. Yeah. We're gonna have to get you on to share a little bit more. I mean, I definitely apologetically, when I start doing a series on maybe Jehovah's Witness, and actually somebody who went in, believed it, lived it for 3 years, and then came out of it. So, dude, that's a phenomenal story. Which he told me that, and I was blown away. And he's like, my testimony was kind of boring. He's like, no, that's not boring at all.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool stuff. And most people that go into Jehovah's Witness, they don't come out.
Right.
A
lot of people. Yeah.
They don't. Because they get indoctrinated, and it is school, right? So, dude, thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm 2020, man.
So what I have to do right now, 2020. Oh yeah, come on.
Yep.
What'd you think of Take on the World? That was your first year coming. Yeah. Take on the World 19.
Take on the World 2019, first year. I'll be back every year they have it.
All right, man. You put some pressure on me, but I'm gonna work on it. So.
Yep. As of right now, if they have it, God willing, I'll be there. 2020.
Awesome. Thank you. So here's my dilemma, guys. I actually have to go plug in my phone because we're in such bad service. It kills our internet. I started at 50%. Now already within 19 minutes, I'm down to 10%. So I'm going to go snag somebody else for the video, but I got to get this plugged in. So while I plug this in, I'm going to actually kind of give you guys an update on Take on the World 2020. So you guys are officially in my ride. So I'm going to tell you guys something pretty cool. If you guys go over to Israel Collective, hold on for a second. Before I start the car, I got enough power to do this. We still have these decals available, and also you can go over through the black. You can pick those up too. I just want to show you that's my car. So it's a secret show. We can kind of do whatever we want. So, but we actually have to plug in the phone. How professional am I? Obviously not very. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys an update. So George Moss, who is our main man, he shot an amazing documentary over in Israel, and he's got a killer verse. If you go to Israel Collective on YouTube, you guys can pull up the video, and then there's a music video at the end, and he drops some amazing stuff. Yes, Dirt is Christian. He's been around for a super long time, probably going on 25 years that he's been around making music. So I can't tell if this is actually plugged in or not. So I am live. Okay. Well, hey, here comes my next guest on my show, secret show. All right, here we go. Riley, what is going on? This is my son, Riley.
Hi.
Riley, tell us, what have you been doing at Sukkot this year?
Putting pieces of cardboard in the fire and making it blow a lot faster.
Awesome. Did you do some fishing today too?
Yeah, but I didn't catch any fish.
So what'd you think of so far? You know, what has it meant to you? I don't know what kind of answer we're gonna get here.
Really good.
Really good? Mm-hmm. So what you really want to go? Well, you're gonna burn that box?
No, not yet, because this is my box where I catch it on fire more.
Okay, well
It just goes down.
Well, I need my next guest, but I got to get a few things charged over here. Hey, Ron. Are you busy? Yeah. All right. Well, we got our next guest, and I still will give you guys that update. So don't worry about that. Hey guys, we are live. Take on the World TV. This is my guest, Ron.
Hi.
Ron, how have you been enjoying Sukkot 2019 so far?
It's been good. I usually put up some kind of a sukkah, and I happen to be, on my property here in Worcester, Ohio, and the people that were there renting from us for like the last 9 years, they left a lot of stuff laying around, and I happened to find this old Coleman tent. So I thought, well, hey, why not? So I wasn't sure about the frame, so I knew I had a bunch of sticks, like 2x4s and 2x2s and different things. So I set it up on my back porch area, and I went inside of it, and I started sticking up these sticks. And so there you go. Another thing I didn't do, which I probably should have, was gone out and cut some bows down, and hung them on and everything. So I basically have the different trees to represent, for the time of the year as we're closing it off to this time of looking back and reflection. Yeah.
So what do you celebrate? Because a lot of people are asking in the chat room, what is Sukkot? What are we doing? What is it all about? What does it mean spiritually?
It's a rehearsal. It's a rehearsal for being with our God, our Savior, our King, on a perpetual face-to-face, but it's type of a relationship that is enhanced this time of the year. We have the Sabbath. It's kind of a bigger, more involved Sabbath in the sense that we're fellowshipping. It's a time of preparing for the marriage. The marriage feast of the Lamb is like a big Sukkot coming together. I think it's just a time to be able to think about how God has blessed us throughout the year. We've already talked about some of the blessings, things we're thankful for, and to be able to look back and reflect. And of course, all Israel were taken out into the wilderness for 40 years. They lived in sukkahs, and so basically they had the tabernacle right in the center. They surrounded the tabernacle, and when they moved, it was almost like this giant cross, because they winged out from the different directions. With Judah leading in praise, and then you had the arms, and it was really balanced, except for the top and the bottom, which the direction they would travel would be the there was a top which was shorter in length because of the number of tribes or the populations, and the other was much longer. So it actually, if you were up on a mountaintop looking down on them moving or just coming together, getting ready to move, there was this huge, the Mishkan, which was the tabernacle, was like a huge cross that they would move across. So basically everything you see when Yeshua is saying that everything that Moses wrote about, he was writing about me. And sometimes it's a pictorial demonstration of the things that would lead up to and bring fulfillment to what would be the culmination of our relationship with him. And it's going to go on. There's no exhausting the resources that God has in his glory, his beauty, his majesty, his love, his forgiveness, his kindness, all of his wonderful attributes that are who he is.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. How long have you been doing this, Ron?
Probably like right around, when was it? Y2K?
Y2K, nice.
Yeah, we're up in the hills up in Concow, which is kind of above, the Lake Orville area. And so we had been up there, and actually we cut down bows and different things. We made our lulavs and did that, and so we kind of started out back then.
Were you preppers because of Y2K? Did that start? Were you?
Yeah, we were definitely preppers. We had our supplies. And we kept our supplies after that for quite a while. In fact, I probably had supplies even up to the fire. And so there were things that I had in my garage that were destroyed.
Yeah, well, if you guys don't know, Ron, well, maybe you don't know. If you don't know Ron, he lost his home in the California fires and has now moved to Ohio. So we're super happy because we get to hang out with you all the time now and come to take on the World Conferences and come to all of our meetups. Your wife, Susie, who is not here with us, why don't you tell everybody where she's at?
She's down in Greenville, South Carolina. There is a Flat Earth Conference down there that Karen B. had set up. She's a great gal, and you ought to check out her YouTube teachings on that. But
Rob Skiba's there.
Rob Skiba's like one of the keynote speakers. They started at 12 noon and they're going to go till 12 p.m. and they've got probably concerts scheduled for in the latter part of the night going on, and then it'll be like a day's drive getting back. She went down there with her good friend that actually she also lost her home in the Paradise Fire because she was actually in Magalia, but the fire got up there and destroyed her home as well. And so they actually live. Our friends that we actually celebrated our first Sukkot with, they're in Concow. It was their property in Concow that we were on when we celebrated it. Well, anyway, she and her husband, they lived in Middleton. That's where he actually grew up, and so they were visiting actually there. They were out of the Paradise Chico area when their house was destroyed. And so the first time we were able to see her again was there in the International Flat Earth Conference. And we're kind of getting away from Sukkot.
Yeah.
We're talking about hot issues.
It's all biblical, right?
It really is, because it is a very biblical issue when you look at it and you see throughout Scripture there are various displays of His Word showing forth what He has created.
When you look at this topic, and one of the things, because I'm going to be speaking at the conference, but one of the really cool things about the Moedim, they happen to be created at the same time, right, as the sun, moon, and the stars. And it's based on that alignment.
Yeah, because it's basically because the sun, moon, and the stars give clarification for the times and the seasons.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So basically, they would be put in place for the purposes of God's holy feast.
And so cosmology absolutely matters in regards to His feast, which happen to be about the most vital things of our faith: the death, burial, the resurrection, and His second coming. It's all right there in His feast days, in creation, in cosmology. So if your cosmology is off, wow, what does that say about the death, burial, resurrection, and His second coming? It speaks volumes.
I believe when Yeshua was talking with Philip, and Philip said, "Lord, can't we come and be with you?" He said, "Well, not right now, but I go away and I prepare a place for you, and where I go, there you will come, and there are many mansions there." So I believe that we're going to be able to keep the first royal, with Yeshua, Sukkot, actually in the heavenlies. And then we're going to be returning on those great stallions, those white stallions, with Him leading us, and we're going to conquer the adversaries of our God and King. Hallelujah. He's the one that's going to do it, though.
Yeah, hallelujah.
It's the word that comes forth from his mouth to slay them that way.
Yeah. Well, Ron, thank you so much. I know you guys are heading back, right?
You're heading back.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Take on the World TV. If you're not a subscriber, check it out because you are now live on there right now.
Okay, they're right there.
Hey, it is there. So, hey.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, you bet. You're getting lots of great comments. So, thank you guys for being with us, Ron. Thank you so much. We'll see you.
Shavua Tov. Have a good week.
Yes, we'll see you soon. And are you guys going down to Dallas?
I don't think so. I've got a pretty full schedule with what's going on. Just when we came back to our home there that had been rented for 9 years, there's a lot of work to be done there. And then we also bought the house next door. And so there's just a lot of things to be done remodel-wise.
Okay.
So,
well, if you don't know, you can live stream FEIC 19,
right.
And it's well worth it because me and Michael Solomon will be speaking. So
that's
hey,
right.
Yeah. So
hallelujah. That's gonna be great. The more speakers, the better.
Yeah. The I'm nervous. Michael's an old pro. So
you did a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard you speak before. Yom Teruah, you did a good job then. And I think that like what you did in Vermilion, Take on the World, that was really tremendous. I mean, the amount of speakers that you had and kept people attentive because there was so much going on. And so
I appreciate that.
I was there in the international conference in Denver, Colorado, just after the fire, like a week after the fire. And so it was really quite something. And I would say that the Take on the World conference was right up there.
Yeah.
It really was.
Were you close to where L.A. Marzulli was?
L.A. Marzulli? In what regard?
Well, he lost his home too.
But maybe in the Santa Rosa fire or some other fire?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It probably wasn't the Paradise Fire, so I don't think so.
Okay,
He wasn't a neighbor or anybody named that I recognize.
Yeah, because he lost it this year. Yeah, so
L.A. There's a lot of fires.
L.A. Marzulli is a big speaker. Nephilim, all that kind of stuff.
When I left to go to the conference, the California Valley, the whole San Joaquin Valley was full of smoke because there was fires going in Southern California and Northern California. We were just glad to get out of California because of the quantity of the contaminants that were in the air. So,
awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much. And you brought your mom out today, so and it is a family-filled event. I may have some juice to walk around now. So thank you so much, Ron.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn off my car. So I'm gonna take you guys around. I'm gonna see if I can snag my next guest. So I got to show you guys this. This is really cool. One of the metal workers made this. The commandments. It's super cool. So. We got some live Canon Quest going on, and I'm already down to 20%. Hey, can I snag you?
Yeah.
All right. You're next. Hey guys, you guys know who this is already. No introduction need. This is Jessy. Come on. We're gonna go where it's a little quieter. We're gonna go past the sukkah. Okay. So, okay, let me flip this around. As you guys do you not know who Jessy Fye is? If you don't, this is who you need to befriend on Facebook because she is a veteran to Take on the World. 3 years. She's one of our just regulars. Like you're just part of it.
I'm just a person.
Yeah, no, she's just part of it. So, no, she's gonna be helping out. You're gonna be at FEIC helping out Robbie Davidson. So prayers to Robbie. He's going through some things right now. So how have you been enjoying Sukkot 2019?
Oh, it's been awesome. It's amazing. I love all the people here. I mean, learned some awesome things from Dr. Alfonso Manzo. If you get a chance to listen to anything he has got going on, I mean, it's always got stuff going on. So
look at that sweet catch. I should have had that on. Look at that.
They're just playing football.
Right over us.
Come on, this is awesome.
Yeah, right. I mean, so. Normally, one of the things that Manzo talked about in his talk was he talked about typically we think that there's 4 spring feast and 3 fall feast, but he made the correlation today that there are 3 spring feasts and 4 fall feasts. Now, Moedim, not actual feast, because we went through the explanation of what feast are and Moedim are, but So maybe you have some thoughts on that, because that was actually pretty interesting stuff.
I've always struggled with the 8th day thing. You read a lot about the 8th day, but he went through it today, and it came together nicely for me with it being the 8th day being the first day, and it just being a circular motion. So you just get to the 7th day, and then when it talks about the 8th day, because that's the 8th day, 8 after 7, but that's really the first day, which is pretty incredible the way that he just, it just makes sense,
Yeah, totally. And the other thing that I thought was interesting was the aspect of first fruits and Shavuot being just one feast.
Yeah.
Feast of weeks.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that was incredible.
So, yeah, I have it just on you, so it's not going to be on me.
I know,
camera,
I saw it.
So, I don't have long enough arms, right? That's why you need like a selfie stick to do that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe like how you came to all this, maybe your salvation experience for people who don't really know you, because I think you've got a really cool like story that has to do with some cool topics, right?
Yeah. I feel like it's a really cool story. I was a Christian growing up. I fell on my knees when I was a child to Jesus. But going through school and just living life, I struggled so much with so many different things. And I knew I was struggling. But I just chose not to understand the word. Instead of asking him what his word meant, I just kind of made it, you make it whatever you want it to be. So I fell out of listening to him and using him as my my path, and I went on my own path, which led to all kinds of sinful behavior, living in the world. I thought I was a lesbian. I wasn't. You get confused and live a worldly, fleshly life where I denied God a relationship with me by just listening to him. So he
were you in relationships?
I was, yeah, I had been, but I had stopped that because I could see the agenda of things in the world. So up until probably 8 or 9 years ago, I kind of fell out of that. I stopped going out. I didn't like how the scene was. If you're in it, then you know what I'm talking about. There's a scene, and it's like pushed on people, and I could see that. So I kind of stopped going out, and I didn't date anybody. I didn't do anything. But I would drink and I would smoke, and I got my dog, who was getting a child basically. I loved him so much, and he kept me from going out. So I stayed home with him and still didn't have a relationship with God. I was fearful because of the things that I wanted to do, the way that I felt, the way that I wanted to live my life. And he eventually started to show me things in the world that I could see, like secret societies, just the movies, the TV, the music that we listen to and think that it's okay. It eats you up inside after a while, thinking that just become so worldly. He showed me that, and then I started to get really afraid. But I still wasn't crying out to him because I was ashamed. And he then YouTube's so weird. So I didn't even watch YouTube, and then all of a sudden there was Mark Sargent's Flat Earth Clues, and I saw that, and I watched it because I thought it was going to be hilarious. I didn't have any kind of thinking that this is going to change my life or bring me closer to him. But I immediately knew when I watched it, I knew, because all the problems I had with science and with professors and all my teachers, I always struggled. And even like my pastors and stuff, I'd struggle with what they would tell me, and it would be like, the Bible says this, but they would tell me that. And so that's where you get confused, and you start to think, well, that's just not what it means to me. And that's where I fell into this whole trap of thinking that I was a lesbian, because I'm just like, well, that's just not what it means to me. When God says don't do these things, it's like, well, is he really talking to me, or is he just saying that was then and this is now, So it's easy to happen, and he showed me that the earth was flat, and I immediately knew that he was real, and that he was showing me, and he was giving me a gift to understand his word better, to really just be able to to stand on it and to know that his word is true. And from there, it went to Rob Skiba, where I saw, and I start getting into Genesis 6, you know, and that's even more like, it's like, how much can he love me even more? He's loving me so much. And then from there, it was like straight into Torah, and it was like, you're giving me a game plan. You're giving me a way to walk out being closer to you and to be more like Jesus in a very real sense. And now I can understand what Jesus means. And I mean, it all came together. So I'm so thankful.
You know, what's crazy, you know, that topics that people are, you know, we're afraid of, conspiracy theories, you know, how they can actually be used to reveal his truth, to reveal him, because that's what they're really about. They're about revealing him, not, hey, I'm going to reveal this thing so you illuminate. It's to lean and trust on him, and he's trying to reveal himself to you. So
draw himself closer to you, or you closer to him. It's amazing. It literally is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that is a great testimony. I think it is super powerful. I mean, you know, much like David Arthur's testimony.
He's
yeah,
awesome.
You know, David's a super dear friend of ours, and
shout out David.
Yeah, hey David. Hopefully you're watching. You know, if not, next time he'll be here in Ohio coming in the spring, so he better be at every single one of these things. So we'll pull them together to do that. So that is David. So Jessy, I don't know if you want to have any last words, but maybe you'll be sharing that full testimony maybe at Take on the World someday when you're. But we'd love for you to, you know, start praying about, think about that. So
well, I love you guys.
So, you
guys are awesome. Praise God. His word is true, and I'm just thankful to be here.
Yeah, and how far did you drive to get here today?
Just an hour and 4 minutes.
So not too bad. So we better see you at every other thing. If it's only an hour.
Yeah.
Right? As long as you're not working. Right? Yeah. So, guys, I actually have to get back to my car. I have a few more guests I want to get on this show, but I have 7% again. I got up to 30%, and then I walked out. Now I got to do that. But that was super worth it to be out here doing it in this background of this. So, Jessy, thank you so much for being on Take on the World TV. So I know you're a subscriber. I know you're a moderator. She is a moderator. Yes, I gave her the moderator status, didn't I?
I'm not sure if you did or not.
I should have. If you didn't,
I moderate through prayer, so watch your back.
Yeah. Right. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna jump into that car, and I'm gonna see if I can get the lady that helped organize today and draw her over. She's like looking like crazy right now. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh.
Hey! I need to go to my car to charge this. So I need you to walk with me.
I'll walk with you.
Yeah.
Is that like walk a mile in my socks?
So I don't know where you're at. You're somewhere behind me.
Yeah.
I just have this camera flipped around. So I'm gonna introduce you guys to this person while I turn my car back on and charge my phone. That's what happens when you're out in no man's land.
Yeah.
The internet like drains your battery like super fast.
We could call it a safe zone.
Right?
This is where everybody's gonna come when 5G hits. They want to go everywhere where the signal's not.
All right. So let me flip this. Let me make sure that we're live, guys. We're make sure that. All right.
Hi.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kim. If you guys have been to Take on the World, I'm going to share a quick story about Kim. Kim, I emailed Kim, I think, through a fellowship finder.
Yeah.
And I emailed her about coming to Take on the World 17.
Yeah.
Said, hey,
what is this event?
Yeah.
How is this like in Cleveland?
Yeah, and it was like right in the same city, Strongsville, that you had just moved from.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Kim from nobody. And Kim reached out and said, hey, do you guys need help? I would love to come help. And Kim came and blew up balloons. She set up chairs, carried chairs.
Me and Tony and Amber.
Yes, right? Yes. And it's created like lifelong friendships out of her just saying, I want to be a servant to people I don't even know. That is who Kim is. Kim has always been that person.
Among a lot of not so pleasant things, but yeah.
Hey, well, we don't know anything unpleasant. So, everything is pleasant. So if you guys have been part of Take on the World 19, you guys know her from working at the booth with Dr. Munzo. Mm-hmm. And if you were there Take on the World 19 and 18. You knew her as the lady who ran the beach chats.
Yeah.
So this is Kim, everybody. So Kim, how long have you been doing Sukkot? Because that's what we're celebrating here today.
Yeah, I think this is our 4th or 5th Sukkot.
Okay.
Yeah, you start to lose track after a little while, but our and Sukkot's different every year. So this year we decided to go low key, not have a bunch of tents in the front yard all week long. Some different things that are going on here made it a little harder to do that this year. So we had the Baileys over and a few other choice people from the area to listen to Dr. Manzo's teaching on the great 8th day, which is actually, according to the scripture, a separate feast in and of itself. So, yeah, so we've got, it's like the wild, wild west over
and her
here.
dog really wants me to pet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which has he has like an amazing testimony as well. But
he is, yeah. He's a rescue dog. This is his second Sukkot. He's a feast lover, aren't you? You love the feasts of Yah, don't you?
And he when the shofar blows, this guy goes crazy.
He sings.
Yes.
Yeah, he says, "I'll make a joyful noise unto Yahweh." Yeah. So actually, he's a really big part of our ministry here. He lets us know when there's something going on the property that we don't want around. He ministers to people along with us. He had a lot of trauma in his life. And so when we work with people that are recovering from trauma, he wants to get right in there and just provide some emotional support. Don't you, buddy?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Kim, I have to ask you. Okay, so most people will want to talk about the feast days. They'll talk about all the things that you're doing, and which I'm going to have you do, especially like what your business, what you and Dr. Manzo are doing together. But one thing I think that we should take it back to is, you and your husband have had an amazing ministry for a long time. You guys were out of the country for a long time.
Yeah.
When did you come to faith, and then when did it get enhanced? With some of these additional things that you're coming to learn about.
Yeah, so I was fortunate to grow up in a Bible-believing home. My Christians were parents, although I think my experience was a little different because, I always remember knowing about, Nephilim and all this stuff. My dad has always been quite a scholar and never tried to hide anything from us. So I had the benefit of, they never thought that my father always thought that, Christmas was pagan and why are we doing it, which... I wish he had taken that next step and actually, cut it out. But we were always raised to be skeptical of a lot of these kinds of things. And so then Dan and I got married, and we spent about 10 years in Brazil working with Bible translation, which was a fascinating time in our lives. Never imagined that we would be back in the States, but we ended up back here and became pretty clear that we were not to go back for some different reasons. But it was while we were here on furlough, we thought we were just visiting, and an old friend had said, we're keeping the Sabbath and we're eating clean. And again, my mom had taken pork out of our diet back in the 80s, and so it was like, oh, that's great, and I said, it's great that we, that you're doing these things, but we don't have to. And it was, and he says, well, are you sure about that? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
We went to get the boys because the boys got buckets from Lake and we went out.
You got to go find him.
Yep, go find him. See, this is what happens when Chris decides to do a spur of the moment YouTube live.
This is called
real life.
This is the secret show. This is totally real life. Yeah.
So anyhow, it was like a very innocent, oh well, we don't have to do those things. And the guy responded. He goes, oh, are you sure about that? And that's all it took. Was like, are you sure? And I'm like, am I sure? And so we ended up doing our first Shabbat with them 2 weeks later, and we never looked back. And it's just been a progressive revelation, just like we think Torah's progressive revelation. Probably just made some people mad by saying that. But as we grew in our walk, we discovered more and more about, keeping Yahuwah's feasts and his holy days. And it's been nothing but blessing and intimacy ever since.
Right. Well, a lot of people would discredit, your walk before Torah, but he had you right where he wanted you, and he was using you to do some amazing things.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. This whole thing of, we never had to repent of our walk with Jesus before. We never had to repent of worshiping a false god, or we needed a deeper understanding of what his word was. We're just as saved today as we were then. But we're walking in more intimacy and more understanding, which is what we call sanctification.
Yeah.
Right? And I wouldn't trade the work that we did for 10 years without knowing about the feasts for anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of our story and our history.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's amazing. And what you guys are doing, in regards to spiritual warfare, healing, and getting to the root cause of a lot of things, is what you and Dr. Munzo are doing. Maybe why don't you share a little bit about that and where they can find, if you guys are struggling with anything, maybe give a plug for that, because we're going to have, you guys have seen Dr. Munzo on Take on the World conference, and we've got the videos uploaded, so go check those out. But Kim is also doing some different things at the office, but they synchronize so well. So if you're out there hurting and you're not getting answers, this is the person who you need to call.
Yeah, there's a lot of us out there who Yah is calling into a ministry of really identifying root causes, and for our business we use a tree as our logo, and it can cause a little confusion because a lot of people use trees, but the scriptures are really clear that trees are such a powerful representation for mankind. And so we are talked about being trees all the time. And what the Bible says, right, is that the roots have to be good for there to be good fruit. And so a lot of times the things that we experience in our life, whether it's physical symptoms or whether it's emotional dysfunction or mental confusion, a lot of these things are actually just the fruit of something that's going on in the root system. And so Dr. Munzo and I both use different modalities to allow the body to identify. Yeah, right. So if I start to hear, people screaming, I'll have to go put out the fire. Riley's really doing a good job. So what we do is we use different modalities to identify some root causes and then bring those into balance through scriptural things like herbs, plants, water, light, prayer, counseling, and so whether it's a physical thing, a spiritual thing, an emotional thing, Yah wants to bring deliverance and balance to that, but there's a lot of confusion as to how do you go about that,
Right, because a lot of things that you're talking about have been hijacked by the enemy, and there are a lot of people out there doing some things that are done in somebody else's name, but yet they're just stolen because if you've watched this channel or watched a lot of other channels, Jeremiah Dirt has a great saying. He says, Satan can't create, he just steals, right? Yep. Or he has a really cool phrase. I just botched it, but but we were talking about Dirt, but we know that Satan can't on his own create anything. He has to hijack and steal everything. And so I know what Dr. Munzo does causes great confusion, but when those things are put properly in the proper context and shows who's the creator behind those and how to use these properly in a biblical manner, we can actually get the results we've been looking for from that. And I know that's what you guys are doing at your. And so where can they find a little bit more about you? Because we'll have you on later as just a guest on The Secret Show, so you can just kind of give the fullness of everything you do. And we'll have a fun time. And I'll probably let Liz do that episode because Liz will be a bit.
We really get to.
Right. So
I think the best place to go is the website, and that's so the name of the business. Dr. Munzo has his own separate business, which is Health Restoration Technologies. Although that is operating out of Wellbeing by Design for now. That might change in the future. We might change how that is structured down the road. But right now you can get all the information about what I do and what Dr. Munzo does by going to the website. And so that's www.wellbeingbydesign.com. And well-being is hyphenated. So it's well-beingbydesign.com. And you'll see the therapies that we offer, our prices, but also you'll see our what we believe. We make absolutely we don't hide at all what we're about. Everything is scriptural, bathed in prayer. We don't believe in the mixing of seeds. So you're not going to find yoga or transcendental meditation or any of these things that Reiki you know, and so there are a lot of things that you won't find there. You know,
no counterfeits. No counterfeits. Yeah, I know. You know, Dr. Manzo's big on talking about counterfeits. So, Kim, thank you so much. And this is your location, so we're not going to say where. This is somewhere in Iowa. So there you guys go. So,
Iowa.
Yeah, right. So, but you know, thank you so much. This is Is this our second or third year with you?
I think this is the
third year. Yeah. So we started coming to your place right after taking World 17.
Yeah.
And then so which has been absolutely awesome.
Yeah, we've always got each other's back.
And it's always a different crowd every year.
Yeah.
You know, last year Tony and Ian were here.
Yeah.
So which was awesome. Those guys just got done doing their Tony and Amber just got done doing theirs on their property.
Amber and Tony were here for 2 years in a row, and now they're off hosting their own. Cool to see people start things, you know, like, oh, we did our first there. Off, you know, Tiffany and Josiah, they would come and Shabbat with us. And then after, I don't know, 6-9 months, they came to us at a Shavuot that we were doing, and they said, you know, we have some really bad news. We can't come and Shabbat with you guys anymore. And of course I was like, oh no. And they're like, no, like we feel like Yah's he wants us to do Shabbat in Columbus, you know, and so now they have their whole thing, you know.
And just like the Claypools, I believe it was was it Shavuot?
Yeah, I think it was.
It was Shavuot,
and now they're all hosting their own Sukkots.
Yeah, right. So super awesome. But everybody's, you know, it's it's everything to do with Yeshua Jesus.
That's right.
You know, and that's what it's all about. You know, people get it twisted and think that we want to do things that are you know, Jewish or you know, we just
rabbinical.
want to we just want to do things that are about him.
Right, reading the word and multiplying the kingdom.
Yeah. And get a deeper relationship. So Kim, thank you so much for hosting again.
Thanks for warning me that we were going to do this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, right?
That.
Well, hey, you gave me the Wi-Fi password, so
I know, my mistake.
So I've got 11%, guys. I'm going to try to see if I can walk around again. Thank you, Kim.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to walk.
Whatever calendar you're on.
Yeah, right. I'm going to walk around and see if I can snag a few more people, because I know we're getting close to being way too much to the end. So I'm going to this is a good chance while I'm walking over. I'm going to see if I can grab Michael Solomon. But this is a good chance to pray next week sometime. It looks like we're going to be checking out a new location for Take on the World 2020. So we got my man Rick over here. 2020, we're going to be looking at a new place. A place invited us in, so super excited about that. But yeah, I'm going to walk over and see if I can snag an interview with Mr. Michael Solomon. And Michael Solomon's trying to sell Jessy something. I don't know.
No, I'm trying to give her something.
Yeah. Well, hey, she sends us all these really cool things from books all the time.
Yes, she's the ultimate
I do find
book finder, man.
Well, here is the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Solomon.
Oh, yes.
Live, Take on the World TV.
Hello.
Oh, wait a minute. Give it to us. Canon Quest in the right voice.
Canon Quest.
What's the rest of the what's the rest of the
Oh, wait a minute. Canon Quest.
Adventure waits.
No. Wait. Canon Quest, the adventure is only a page away.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, do that again. I had you off of the camera.
Canon Quest, the adventure is only a page away.
Well, I'm going to be interviewing Michael Solomon when he's done doing this. So I'm going to flip around so I don't, interrupt their conversation. But we're going to get Michael Solomon. Me and Michael, we are... Oh, you know what? Forget this. Forget Michael Solomon. I actually have the better half of Michael Solomon.
Hello, how are you?
And so we've got Maria Solomon.
Hello.
In the house.
How are you?
Maria, how are you enjoying Sukkot 2019?
Sukkot 2019 was awesome. It feels like being with family, and it's sort of hard to leave, but we have to go.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm getting, So, Maria, you and Michael run a ministry called Canon Quest, which is no stranger to Take on the World TV, because you guys need to get back to doing some episodes.
Yes, we do.
And which, if you have not seen all these episodes, go back and review these episodes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Canon Quest and what the mission is.
Sure.
And if you have anything that we could show you.
Actually, I just happen to have it in my hand.
Wow, look at that.
Canon Quest is a study tool to help people to get focused on Scripture. And that's why it's called Canon Quest Focus. What we're doing is illustrating Scripture as it's written. We take no liberties, and we're illustrating stories just so people can see the Scripture verse and then go and study for themselves. That's our goal, is to get people in the Word to study for themselves.
Yeah, so, there's a game that goes along with it.
Yes, it is.
And that is a awesome game. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that game? Because the last time at Trumpets, we had all the kids playing it.
And it was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You got to look at our Facebook page because it's posted on there. The kids just really got into it. And what it is, it's a matching game that when you play it, you turn over a card, you say something about that scripture, and if you get it, you turn over another card to see if you match. If you miss, you move on to the next person. It's really simple, but very intriguing.
And you can't say the same thing twice.
No, you can't. If you get it wrong, you lose your turn. And if you pick it up again, you have to add to the story.
So you can't be just good at memory, like the game memory. You actually have to have knowledge of what is in the picture.
Right, but even if someone doesn't know the scripture, what they can do is read into it, because what we've done is illustrated it so that it tells the story. So,
yeah, and for kids that maybe can't read or they're struggling, just by you sharing the story with them, reading the passage to them, putting it on their level, and then when you play the game, they may pick out, hey, I know what that character is, I know what they're doing now, and they're going to grow in that knowledge. So whatever age that is, could be, we saw 4-year-olds playing.
We sure did. Who beat the 10 and 11-year-olds.
Right?
And my granddaughter is 6 years old, and it's her favorite game.
Yeah. So that's super awesome. So what are some of the characters that you guys have in? And you have 24 cards, right?
24 cards right now. Moses, Esther, Samson, David, Daniel, Miriam, and Moses when he was a baby. The Wall of Jericho is awesome card.
Oh, that's a beautiful card, yeah.
And
they're also available as posters, right?
Yes, they are. All of these are available in this size, which is 11 by 17. They come in 18 by 24 and 16 by 20. So you have just tons of different art, Old and New Testament.
And wait a minute, what in the world is this?
That is the Ark.
Why is it shaped that way, and why is it black?
Well, if you look at Genesis 7:24, it actually describes the ark to you, and it's 450 feet long, and then the exact dimensions wide, but then it's covered in pitch, and pitch is black.
Yeah, a lot of people think that pitch is just the light-colored sap that comes out of the tree. No, the pitch is actually what you have to boil down.
Exactly.
Just like maple syrup,
it's the essence of that.
Yeah, it gets dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very, very dark, almost black-like substance.
Right. You'll notice
like tar.
that it has brown highlights. Uh-oh, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. It has the brown highlights, but it is a dark brown.
Well, let's see the first one again, because I love when you guys teach about this one.
Oh.
And I'm gonna have to get this plugged in.
Okay.
So if you guys can know what this one is, anybody watching, you can shout out what this is. Let's see if you guys are out there paying attention. Come on, give us some guesses on who this is and what this person is holding. I'll wait a second. You have to make pitch with charcoal.
That's a thought.
There it is. Yeah, that's awesome. Turns dark, so perfect. Well, if you got so here we go, guys. This is Moses, and these are the 10 Commandments.
Yes.
And wait a minute, but these are blue.
Exactly. The commandments were written by Yah himself. So what he did was he wrote it on material that was in heaven, because that's where he's at. So he took what his feet are on, which is the roads of heaven are sapphire, and that's what he wrote the 10 Commandments on.
Nice. Sapphire. Wow.
Sapphire.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, I'm going to have to get this plugged in. So here we go. If this is Maria, So if you can send Michael over to my car for just a minute, I have to get my phone plugged in or I'm going to lose battery power. So when Michael's ready, send him my way.
Do that.
And then we're going to finish up the video. Thanks so much, Maria. I got to get this plugged in one more time. And then I think I'm going to end with Michael as my final guest. And the next time you guys will see me and Michael together, we'll be in Dallas. And I hope to do a secret show just like this in Dallas. All throughout. They got some Shane and Shane on now. So let's pan this around. It's winding down. So those that are camping out, they've got their camper. Those that are spending the night, they'll be hanging out here. So lots of really cool people there out there. Maybe if I could snag Liz, that would be pretty cool as well. So if you guys are out there still watching, let me know what you guys are doing, whether you're able to celebrate or not. Let me know what you guys are up to. So here we go. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Hey JJ, how's it going? There was about 60 minutes of this beforehand, so if you guys go back and watch, this is a continuation. They had a nice little pause, and so I am eating some plant chili, of course. So sweet potato, black bean, lots of really good stuff. So Michael Solomon is stealing the show over there. So let me show you guys. He's still entertaining the crowd. Let's go spy on their talk.
As far as I was, right. As far as I was concerned, she was a nice lady with a check. You know. And he was a weird guy who got a girl. Right. She was hiring me for some technical illustrations, and later she gave me a ride to.
It's awesome, JJ.
All that stuff. I had no idea. You know. And then when all hell broke loose, and then months later we meet. 3 months later we got married.
Kids are hanging out down here. Okay, all right. We've got Liz here. All right.
She's in her Sukkot flannel.
People want to know when you're coming back to take on the World TV and actually doing another show.
Very soon.
Or is that just me?
Very soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's rocking, what are you drinking?
I'm trying a LaCroix for the first time.
Yeah, because you normally don't drink stuff like that, do you?
I don't, but we have very little water to get home.
And
enjoying the fire that our son built, kept alive.
I know. This was all Riley's doing right here. Mm-hmm. He's got the burns to prove it.
Does he really?
Yeah, I've been waiting to get Michael on film. But Michael's entertaining the whole audience over there. So did you
get that TP?
You want to tell us a little bit about what you were, or are you not ready for that?
What I was doing?
Yeah, no. Not yet? Okay. Well, Rick's got something he's working on that he can't tell us yet. But it's going to be good, right?
Yeah, it's got to go through some LLC stuff.
Awesome. So so here I'm going to answer some questions. What is the news on Take on the World 2020? Why don't you answer that, Liz?
We hope to have some amazing news later this week. We are checking out a facility closer to Columbus. It looks really promising. Very similar to Beulah Beach. Very similar amenities, programs. So we are extremely hopeful. But if anybody out there has any suggestions, send it our way. We will check out every single one of them and see what the possibility is. Like you get blinded with smoke.
Yeah. I am right in the wind of the fight. So, awesome. So that's coming up next week. So maybe we'll have some praise reports.
We hope so. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy a little bit of music while my phone plugs in, because Michael Solomon is coming up. So in like maybe 20 seconds. I'm gonna snag him. So I want you guys to enjoy some of this music. And I was actually taking that time to finish my food. So sorry about that. But that's what happens when you get secret shows. Hey, Liz, can you come here? Hey, sit down. And take over.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, take over. Hold this.
Oh, from this side.
No, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Do I have to?
What conversation was going on over there that I just got you out of?
We'll share later.
Okay.
Is this pointed to you?
No, this is just you take over. It's pointed on you. I'm going to the bathroom.
Oh, goodness.
Why don't you talk about some of the things that you have going on? Or that we have going on? You just watched a really good documentary on Netflix. Why don't you tell everybody about that?
Well, can I turn this? Let me turn this.
It's already pointed on you.
I know, but I want to turn it this way so that I can see people. Ugh. Let me put this further away. Yes, so I posted, Rob shared about the Game Changers documentary on Netflix. And it finally just came to Netflix. I've been waiting for it to get there. It was on Amazon Prime. And it basically goes through a athlete and sort of investigating the plant-based diet, and can you actually get enough protein? That's always, the number one thing that everybody asks. Where do you get your protein from? And it went through all of that and all the benefits and everything of a plant-based diet, even for athletes and athletic performance, and what it's been able to do for whether they're Olympians or football team or firefighters or anybody in that athletic arena. And it's pretty powerful. I would say it takes a lot of those, what the health and all these other ones up a notch, because it puts that athlete into it. When so many people think, if you go plant-based, you're just going to waste away and you're going to lose all your muscle, and you're going to be nutrient devoid because you have to have meat, and for you to be manly you have to have meat, and that's just a total fallacy. So thank you, JJ. I hate being put on the spot if you don't know that about me. I always like to have a game plan going on in my head, so to just speak live is off the cuff. It's not something that I love to do. So besides that, we've been pretty low-key, doing a lot of things behind the scenes, really trying to find a new venue. Yay!
okay.
Here he is. All
right.
right.
It's dark in here.
All right, now we're going to go
give
here.
it back over.
Oh, okay.
There you go, Chris.
All
Back
right.
on you now.
Okay, mate. Did you have everything you wanted to say, Liz?
Sure, yeah.
Awesome. Hey, and you brought up the viewership, and I just brought it right down. Thank you so much, Liz. All right. Now let's bring those viewers right back up, because, hey, we're going to plug in this phone again. This is how we roll with low phones. We are still live. The phone died, but it came back. So.
Wait a minute, how did it come back?
It came back to the same live stream when the phone died.
Wait, it did?
Yeah.
So it was still open when the phone was dead?
Well, it wasn't live streaming. it just paused it, and then when you come back, it resumed it. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, guys, this is the same spot. You know what? You can sit. You want to sit in the car?
Sure.
Okay. Michael's gonna be riding shotgun with me. That's how it always goes. Michael's my shotgun guy. I'm just kidding. I'm Michael's shotgun guy.
I have to be quick because Maria doesn't like driving in the dark.
Yeah, so, all right. So let's get some lights on in here so it doesn't make it too romantic. Oh, that works.
Oh, yeah.
So I was telling everybody how, you're riding shotgun because you always ride shotgun too.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You're always.
Unless I'm on a motorcycle.
You're always the main guy on Flat Out Insights.
Yes.
So guys, this is Michael Solomon.
Hello, everyone.
You guys know Michael Solomon. Where's the next place we're going to be together at?
We're going to be in Dallas, and we're going to be with Robbie Davidson at his Flat Out Insights will be in the house.
Flat
Out Insights will be in the house at his Flat Earth conference in Dallas.
We're actually kicking off the whole
we'll
breakout
be the
stage.
First, yep, we'll be the
breakout
stage. Yep.
Yeah, so it goes Mark Sargent, and then we're up against Nathan Thompson on the main stage. So
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've never been to Dallas.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So we got a great presentation. It's gonna be called "History of the Globe Deception."
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what you're gonna be touching on, because we're doing a joint presentation. So.
Right. And my part, I'll be discussing how the world, totally all the cultures believed in an enclosed cosmology, and then how it ended up being taken away from us via science. So we'll discuss as much detail as we can, and along with that, we'll talk about some proofs and evidences to confirm the enclosed cosmology, but mainly how did science actually take that truth away from the world.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is your second Sukkot.
Yep, second Sukkot.
Yeah, we were with Zach's group last year.
Yep.
Yeah, so how you...
was that last year?
Yeah, that was last year.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, okay.
So how you enjoy this year?
Oh, this was fun. It was more people than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they were blowing the shofar, the dogs started barking like crazy. That was bizarre. I've never seen that
They
before.
just joined in on.
Yeah, they just joined in. The dogs just love the shofar.
Yeah. So Canon Quest, we talked a lot about with Maria, Canon Quest, the game, all that kind of stuff. But we've been chatting about for a while, doing potentially some feast day cards.
Yes. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I thought would be super cool would be to have the feast on one side, a depiction, 3-day illustrated by you, and then on the back side, the fulfillment of Christ on the back. And that way kids can understand these things in such a more practical way.
I think that's a great idea. Chris, who is an excellent apologist, by the way, Chris came up with the idea of actually illustrating the path of Christ's ministry as according to the feast, because if you look at it, his life, his ministry was set up that way. Okay, it was very sequential in that way. I thought that was a great idea. We're looking forward to doing those cards. That's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy way to really get kids to understand the death, burial, resurrection, the second coming.
Yep.
And
that's going to be a special series for sure.
Yeah, that would be,
because the double-sided aspect of it. Yeah, that's going to be a special series.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And what else is new with Canon Quest? So you got the game coming.
Yep.
But how is the game going to change from what you saw it take on the world?
We're going to have two forms of the game. The Take on the World mat, the mat board, which is this 20 by 30 mat that rolls out in a tube. We're still going to offer that because people love that, and the thing is indestructible. But we're also going to start doing a more traditional fold-out game. It will look exactly the same front and back, but it will be kind of like in a box like Monopoly. Or Candyland. It will have more of a traditional feel to it. That way we can actually charge less and produce more. And so we're real excited about that. We're actually going to be doing a crowdfunding. We shot the video last night, and so we're going to do a crowdfunding to try to get funds to manufacture the game. The game is already designed and ready to go, but we found a manufacturer in the US, because usually people go to China to have games designed. I didn't know that until we started doing the research, but we actually found a US family-owned company, and we love working with family-owned companies, and they're going to build the game from down to the board, the game cards, the box, everything, all in one package.
You think they might be a biblical-based family too?
I don't know. I know they're probably Italian, because the name of the company is Delano.
Okay.
So it sounds Italian. I don't know if they're biblically based.
So great opportunity for you to share some things with them. Yeah.
Yep. They love the game. And you would think, oh, they're a manufacturer, they're going to love anything when you bring money their way. But actually, no. They actually say, you know, we design a lot of games, but we really like your game. It's something different. Now, here's the interesting part. They also manufacture Magic the Gathering. Okay, which is kind of cool, because Magic the Gathering is kind of our nemesis. We designed Canon Quest to actually compete with Magic the Gathering in games like Magic the Gathering. And I know there's a lot of Magic the Gathering fans out there. It's not a Christian-based game. They teach witchcraft and a lot of violence and stuff like that. And a lot of other things. You have to look at some of these Magic the Gathering cards, because they get into nudity and all that stuff. So they may be dark and evil, but they look good. They're very well designed. And so we wanted to create Canon Quest to actually look just as good and be just as much fun and exciting as Magic the Gathering. And what's interesting is this company actually does the printing for that game. So it's interesting. They're going to do our printing. They do the printing of Magic. So that's going to be interesting.
That's really cool. So, yeah. So you're going to have some new Canon Quest episodes coming up.
Yep.
And we're going to have some new Flat Out Insights.
Yep.
So what we want to do is we want to do an official Take on the World TV edition of Flat Out Insights presentation that we do at FEIC 19. So right after that, we'll already have the presentation. So let's do that live and enhance it, because we only got like 45 minutes. We can do like
I was going to ask you that, how long we have. Okay.
Yeah, so we got about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, I believe, almost an hour.
Okay.
But when we do ours on Take on the World TV, we can do hour and a half, 2 hour episode.
Right.
So that will be the one we plan next.
All right.
Because we haven't done a show in forever.
Right, we have not.
Hey, but we're speaking at a huge conference that, which is actually kind of crazy. So, I'm running off of
your car battery here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, well, it started. So, but I'm running off of your coattails.
Oh,
so,
okay.
With all your fantastic information. So here's my plug. Go look at all of the Flat Out Insights videos. If you haven't seen them, this guy completely rocks it. Has amazing presentations. You're going to be bringing out the Hubble stuff at FEIC.
Oh, yeah. Hubble is lots of fun.
Yeah. We'll be breaking that one down. So we'll be having a blast.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a really fun conference. I mean, all the speakers are going to be great, but there's going to be so many Take on the World speakers and attendees there.
Yep.
So it's going to be a big reunion as well. So
yep. It's going to be
super excited about that.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you so much, Michael. I know you got to roll. It's already getting dark. So.
Yep.
Any last words? Anything you got to say? I mean.
Hey, it's going to be fun. We had a lot of fun here at Sukkot, and we're going to have fun at FEIC. So you guys that can't make it, please plug in to the live feed.
Yep.
And enjoy the adventure with us.
Yeah. And if you do come, you've already seen Nathan Thompson many times, but you haven't seen Michael Solomon live. So if you've seen Nathan Thompson so much, even though we love Nathan, there's my plug to come. There's my plug to go see Michael Solomon. I'll be speaking along with him, but you don't need to come see me, but come see this guy. That's my support for you. So again, man, we are riding in the car. That's how we do it. And this is probably the first time we've been in the front seat of a car together. So
yeah, right. It has.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
which is pretty cool. So I'm going to let Michael run because we've had him on for 5 minutes. We're not going to do what I did to Nate. I kept him on for way too long.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm going to see how much battery life. I'm going to try to get one more interview for you guys because you guys have been rocking with us for a long time. Michael, thank you so much again. And any parting words again?
Hey, you guys, join us at FEIC. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. CanonQuest.com?
Yes, CanonQuest.com. Check us out.
CanonQuest.com. All right, let's go see what we have. Thanks, Michael.
All right, see you guys.
So I'm going to wind it down. I'm not going to do an interview. Everybody's relaxing.
Yeah, you put it that far on the calls.
You can't do it like that, bud.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys check the back of that label for those marshmallows? Cam?
Liz, you defiled our Sukkot.
Here.
Trader Joe's.
There's no way.
I can eat all of Riley's burnt marshmallows.
Carrageenan.
There is carrageenan in it, yeah. But that's not gelatin.
I forget what carrageenan. Isn't that a bioproduct of plants?
It can be a seaweed that can cause intestinal discomfort.
Stop it, Liz.
Yeah.
We're on Sukkot. We don't need to hear about intestinal discomfort. What does the Bible say? The Lord says, save up all year and buy whatever your heart desires and enjoy it on Sukkot.
Even pork?
Here.
No, but strong drink, yes.
It says strong drink, right?
Yeah.
Where's the
Which
strong
we don't
drink?
have. Yeah, we don't. We're obviously not keeping Sukkot well enough because we have no strong
I put
drink.
it over and it didn't work.
Well, it doesn't mean strong smelling.
I put it over and
I
be
do have
vinegar.
some. I have some homemade apple cider I could bring out.
Super fast.
Okay.
Did you burn it already?
This is like my 4th or 5th marshmallow.
You're having a good
I keep having to eat his burnt ones.
Okay, Riley.
I think he's just feeding
So we are officially winding down.
Oh, Riley, that one's on fire too. You got to bring it to me.
Where's the other stick? Who has the other stick?
All right, let's see if you can actually do this, Riley.
Just put it a little close to the fire, but not in the fire.
It's close. You're good.
And turn
Well,
it.
hey guys, if that's all that you guys got to see from us, there's like 86 minutes left, so go watch all of that. And it was actually a blast hanging out with you guys. Thanks to everybody who jumped on, like Jessy and Liz and Kim and the whole rest of the gang. I'm gonna have to do an interview with Dan because he's got a fantastic story as well. And so that will be next time. That is the other half of Kim.
Yes, the better half.
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna catch on fire.
Oh no, it didn't. Did Riley? Let's take a look. Did Riley get a successful marshmallow?
Now, pull out Riley with your fingers.
He did. All right, guys. Thanks so much for rocking with us. Oops, I almost stepped on that dog. That rat dog. Okay. Sorry.
Don't listen to that.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. This is Sukkot Secret Show. Take on the World TV. Like, subscribe, check us out. See ya.